Today, I am going to talk about the elephant in the room, and that elephant's name is fee increase Frankie. I know I'm making a small joke about it, but fee increases are never good. They never make people happy. People always get up in arms because, hey, let's face it, we don't like increasing prices. We don't like to pay more, especially if you're running a small business. But I'm here today to talk about 5 ways that you can overcome fee increases and give you some things to think about when it comes to fee increases to put things in perspective for you. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, what is happening? Welcome to the Handmade and Beyond podcast. Glad to be back with you guys as usual. Hopefully you're doing well. Things are going good for you, your family, your business, all that good stuff. But today I'm here to talk about fee increases, and it's a hot topic because Etsy has just changed their fees, their processing fee from 5% to 6.5%. And hey, listen, I get it. I'm right there with you. I don't like fee increases. I don't like when companies take more money out of my pocket, out of my family's pocket. So I get where people are coming from when they are really upset, PO'd about this fee increase. But I want to talk about some things to keep it in perspective because I'm a glass half full type of guy, and getting negative down the dumps about this fee increase is not going to do you any good. You're not going to be able to change it. If Etsy sends out a survey, then I would definitely recommend doing that. They do say that they are putting this extra money into ads and into ad spend and into marketing to help us. So we can only hope that that is true and that they will follow through on that, and we will see an increase in sales, and then that fee increase will be worth it. So let's talk about some comparisons first, and then I'm going to give you 5 ways to overcome the fee increase to help you guys out. So first, let's just understand the Etsy fees, the Etsy fee structure, which a lot of people talk about. A lot of people still don't understand it, which you need to understand it if you're going to sell, because that needs to go into your profit margin. You need to know your numbers. So the Etsy processing fee is 3% plus 25 cents, but it varies. That's in the US, but it varies depending on what country that you're in. So it can go as high as 5-6%. But the US, it's 3%. The actual transaction fee is what changed. I probably misspoke on that earlier and called it a processing fee, but the transaction fee has been 5% for a long time, and they just changed it to 6.5%. And then you have a listing fee. Every time you're listing, you put up a new listing or you renew a listing, that is 20 cents. So all in all, it is about 9.5% plus 45 cents, give or take. And the variance, is the processing fees, depending on what country you live in. And, depending on how many listings you're renewing and new listings, that is going to change depending on the time frame. So let's just call it 9.5% as far as fees that, plus 45 cents for each sale that gets taken off the top. So that is Etsy's fees in a nutshell. And I'm going to give you guys something too. If you guys need an Etsy fee calculator, there's a free calculator on Alora. Check the link below wherever you're watching this, and you can see your Etsy fees calculated for you, and it'll automatically calculate your profit margin to make it a little bit easier. Because who has time to sit down and go through all these numbers and figure out these calculations for each and every sale for each and every time frame? That's kind of maddening. So use that calculator. It'll make your life a lot easier. And hey, it's free and it's super easy to use. And that's from my friends over at Alora. They have lots of great resources, but I'll put the link below for you guys. So here's some comparisons to put things in perspective, because everyone complains. It's the first thing that they disagree with that Etsy does, whether it's fees or anything else. I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm leaving. That's it. That's the nail in the coffin. Going somewhere else, going on another platform. And that is your prerogative. This is your business. You can do whatever the heck you want. And that's the fun in running your own business. You don't got to deal with anyone else. Obviously, you got to deal with third parties, such as this platform. but you can leave. You can do your own website. You go to another platform, another third-party platform. But here's some things to think about. And you remember the overall average fees of 9.5%. Here's some comparisons for you from some of the top selling platforms in the world. Amazon, they charge 99%, or I'm sorry, 99 cents per sale of each item if you're on the basic plan. If you have a professional plan, then it's $40. It's $39.99 a month charge. They don't charge per item sold. Now, they have referral fees, which are basically their transaction fees. They range widely depending on what you sell. So, unlike Etsy, it doesn't matter what you sell. Amazon, it does. The fees range very, very widely, but they average out to around 15% of each item sold plus 30 cents. So 15% they take off the top, and that doesn't include your per item sales fees or your professional fees for running a shop. eBay, another big platform out there, and I have a lot of experience selling on eBay. That's actually where I got my start. I've been selling on eBay for 20 years, and I still love eBay. eBay is a great platform. They charge an insertion fee. Usually it's free. You get like 250 free listings a month or something like that. Then after that, it varies depending on how much you're listing it for, if you're doing an auction or you're doing a buy it now. So it does vary. If you get a shop, you can pay a monthly fee for a shop, and then you get more free listings as well. So that's something to keep in mind. So you can get some additional free listings if you pay extra money for a shop. But they have a final value fee, which is kind of like a transaction fee. And like Amazon, it varies depending on what you sell. It varies widely. And then they charge 30 cents additional for each sale, no matter what. So the average, depending on what you sell, is anywhere from 9%, and it can go as low as 3%. I'm sorry, let me backtrack. So the average is about 9% after looking at all the numbers because there's so many, but it can go as low as 3% and as high as 15%. So middle of the road is about 9%. And then, off the top that they take plus the 30 cents plus the insertion fee if you have that. So there are extra fees. Shopify is a big one. A lot of people are like, I'm leaving Amazon or I'm leaving Etsy. I'm going to Shopify. Shopify is not a e-commerce. I mean, it's not an e-commerce platform. It's a website builder. You got to drive your own traffic to Shopify, but their fees are a lot lower. It's 2.9% for a processing fee because you have to use their payment processor. No one has their own payment processor. Plus 30 cents for each transaction, plus $29 a month for the basic plan to use Shopify. And then there's a bunch of a la carte options that you can get that a lot of people need to get to run their websites. So you have to pay for usually a website skin. There are free ones, but if you want a good one, you have to pay for website skin. There's email integrations, there's marketing integrations, there's chat integrations, there's all that stuff, but those are all add-ons. That stuff is not included. And Shopify is great where you can do anything that you want to do. There's many, many companies that partner with Shopify. So you can really get a robust website, but that's all additional costs that add up. The 2.9%, hey, that looks great. 2.9% plus 30 cents. That's super low. But you start out with absolutely zero traffic. You don't have millions of buyers. You don't have 80 million buyers to try and capitalize on. You have to drive your own traffic to your own website. Just because you set up a website on Shopify doesn't mean you're going to get any sales at all. You have to drive traffic. So that is a big downfall. All right, another big player now in the market is GoImagine. This one came on the scene the last few years. The last year or two. So they have different plans that you can start out with, and that determines how many products you can list. So the starter plan is like $2.50 a month. You get 25 products, and then they have a 5% processing fee for that plan, but you only can list 25 products. And it goes up as high as the professional plan. I think they call it a professional plan. Anyways, it's $10 a month. You can list 1,000 products, and then the transaction fee drops to 3.5%. And that seems pretty good. That seems pretty low. But what you have to remember with GoImagine is they don't have their own payment processor like Etsy does. So you still have to pay the processing fees. I know Etsy does have a processing fee as well, but the same thing is with GoImagine. So you have to do a PayPal or Stripe integration with GoImagine. Stripe is 2.9% plus 30 cents for each transaction, and PayPal is 3.5% plus 10 cents per each transaction. So the average, depending on what plan you do, is around 6.5 to 8.5% fee off the top of each sale. So a lot of people are jumping to GoImagine. It's for a good cause. I get that. It seems really good, but your fees aren't that much less when you include all that extra, processing fee and the transaction fee. You're looking at 6.5 to 8.5%, comparative to Etsy, which is 9.5%. So not that much better. But the big kicker, the super big kicker with GoImagine, and I'm not knocking them. They seem like a great platform. Hopefully they get they start making progress and get a bigger audience and more buyers. That's really what's holding them back, and that's what I'm going to talk about next. That's a big kicker. The traffic, and this is an independent resource, but the traffic in 2021 to GoImagine was about 1,000 unique visits per day. So think of 1,000 people walking in the door to a store. Unique visits. That's what they got on average per day. I'm not sure what Etsy gets because they don't have those numbers across the board. I know they have, I think it's 80 or maybe up to 100 million active buyers. But I went back and looked at my own store, my own Etsy store. And in 2021, I averaged 300 unique visits per day. So only 700 less for one store, my own store, than the entire GoImagine platform gets in one day. 700 less. So they are severely lacking when it comes to traffic, and selling on that platform and making sales is so much harder because they just don't have the traffic. They don't have the buyers yet. They're not as known. And I hope they get there. Like I said, I'm rooting for them. I hope that they get there. But that's kind of the biggest setback when it comes to switching to GoImagine. They just don't have the traffic that Etsy has, and that's really tough. And to be paying 6.5 to 8.5%, a couple percent less for barely any traffic. Hey, that is the extra fee that you're paying for when it comes to Etsy. That 1.5% increase you're paying for millions of buyers. The opportunity to get in front of millions of buyers. Yeah, you have to seize that opportunity. There's things that you have to do to try and snag those buyers. Optimize your shop, SEO research, offering awesome products. But that is what the fees are going towards: your opportunity, your buy-in to get those buyers. And then hopefully Etsy comes through and does some extra marketing for us, which we're seeing more and more commercials. We're seeing some different marketings sent out via email, $5 off, different stuff like that, which looks good. So that's just something to keep in mind. Those are the top platforms, and don't quote me on the exact those fees exactly, because they do change all the time. But generally speaking, based on my research, that is the average of those fees. And that's what you have to keep in mind when it comes to Etsy. You have to keep in mind that they're not the only ones charging fees, and they are still very competitive when it comes to fees. That is what you pay to get traffic. That's what you pay to use all their resources. And hopefully you can make it work for your business and your site. So let's dive in. Now that we have that glass half full attitude and we're looking at the glass half full, and we have that frame of reference. Holy crap, I can't talk. Let's dive into 5 ways to overcome fee increases, because there are some ways, there's some mitigation things that we can do. We're not going to sit back. We're not going to sit back and just let the fees increase and not do anything about it. Just like if you're not getting sales, you're not going to sit back and not do anything about it. There's things that you can do. You can take an active role, and that's what I'm talking about with this. So the first one is raise your prices. This may be obvious, but a lot of people undercut and lowball themselves, and that's only a race to the bottom. If you're trying to come in the lowest to beat all your competition, you're selling yourself short. People don't necessarily want the lowest cost item. This isn't Wish. We're not trying to buy cheap products. Customers don't want cheap products. They come to Etsy to buy handmade, well made, unique products from small businesses. So keep that in mind. If you're making uh, superior products, high quality products, charge more for them. Be competitive, but charge a little bit more. Don't charge immediately the lowest possible price and kill your margin. We want to have some margin. So know your margin. Go to that calculator that I told you about earlier, and then raise your prices. Raise your prices a little bit to counteract the 1.5%. So that you feel whole. Chances are your prices are already too low anyways. So that's something that you can do immediately. It takes 2 seconds. Raise your prices a little bit. The next thing that you can do, and this one you're going to be like, what the heck, is increase your conversions, increase the number of sales. And you're like, yeah, that's if only I could just push a button and do that. We all want to just push a button, push a button and increase sales, but do more things to drive sales, to drive conversions. Do more marketing as far as sales, coupons, to your email list, to your social media. In general, run sales and offer coupons, incentives to buy more, free shipping incentives to buy more. You can do buy two, get one free, buy three, get one free. Different, spend over $100, get something. There's a lot of different things that you can do. So think outside of the box when it comes to marketing. Release new products based on demand, based on your niche. Do product research, demand research, to figure out what's selling in your niche, what you can bring to market, what subject matter is doing well. You should be constantly doing that anyways, and that constant influx, that constant research will help get you to know your niche better, so you can bring products to market that are going to sell, that you're going to do well on. So think about it that way. There's things that you can do as far as your product line and making tweaks, making adjustments, marketing, bringing things to market to get more sales. The next thing is lower your production costs. So reevaluate where you're getting supplies, who you're getting them from, your production partners. Think about going wholesale if you're not already. Maybe you need to switch to another wholesaler. There's a very competitive market out there for wholesale products. So there's probably someone else that you may be able to pivot to that you can get stuff a little bit cheaper. Even if you're saving 25 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents per product, that goes a long way. That's going to add up. You sell 1,000 items, that's a lot of money. So think about that way. Reevaluate your product line, your manufacturing, your products that are going into your supplies that are going into making your products, and kind of see if you can cut some costs there without cheapening your product. Obviously, we never want to do that. It's not worth it if you're cheapening your product, but there may be something that you can kind of pivot to that is comparable that will save you a little bit of money. The next thing that you can do is maybe add another sales channel. You don't always have to sell only on Etsy or only on one platform. You can put more lines in the water. And I always preface this with saying, as long as it's not distracting you from growing your number one site, which if it's Etsy, that's what you can't get distracted from. You can't be kind of all over the place juggling all these balls, but there's nothing wrong with putting a couple of your products on another sales channel. Maybe try eBay, or maybe if you want to open the can of worms, try Amazon or something like that. But you can try it and maybe snag a few extra sales per month on another sales channel, and that'll easily make up for the fee increase. Think about it this way: if you average $1,000 in sales a month, the 1.5% amounts to $15. 15 more dollars you're spending on fees than you were previously. So if you're selling a $15 to $20 product, that's just one more sale. One more sale a month will counteract all of the increased fees for that month. 2 more sales, you're sitting pretty. So if you can think about it on month terms, if you can snag another sale or two in a month on another sales channel, you're easily going to make up for those fees. You're easily going to make up for that increased expense. And if you're doing all these other things that I'm talking about to mitigate fees, then you're going to be sitting pretty as far as making up the added costs. Last but not least is think about your shipping costs. Maybe you need to raise or lower your shipping costs. when it comes to counteracting fees. So maybe you just want to overall raise the cost of shipping for your buyers, which I know people hate to do that, but people are fine paying shipping as long as you're not gouging them, as long as you're not, charging them way more than it actually costs to ship the products. They're never going to notice a 50-cent increase, 25-cent increase, dollar increase. Or consider lowering your shipping costs. So if you're using another platform, or if you're using Etsy, maybe you need to research another platform. Buying shipping through Etsy, you do get a substantial discount. There are other companies like Pirate Ship, which you may want to use, which is a third party. I think they're pretty competitive when it comes to the discount that you get compared to Etsy. I think it's roughly the same the last time I looked at it, but maybe it's not. Maybe they're a little bit cheaper, or maybe there's another third party shipping out platform that you can use to save a couple of bucks on your shipping costs, which in return will give you more money in your pocket at the end of the day. And I know shipping is another hot topic. I'm not talking about shipping on this episode. Is going to wear me out, but because shipping prices are always increasing, and running a small business, it's always a hot topic. But I can only talk about one elephant in the room at a time on these episodes. I'm not trying to get people all fired up and sending me emails after this episode. So those are the 5 ways to overcome the fee increase, and some different things for you to try and consider. And then those were the comparisons that I talked about to hopefully put you more at ease and at least understand what's going on and what other companies are doing. So it's not all on Etsy, and it's not the end all be all. I think it's always good to look at things in context, put things in perspective, and not have tunnel vision, which we kind of like to do as small business owners, and have knee-jerk reactions. So think of it this way. Hopefully this episode helps you guys out. Again, if you want to figure out your profit margins and your fees, go to that Allura calculator, the link below. It's a great resource. That calculator is just one of the many free tools that they have, but they also have other tools to help you with SEO. And I've done other videos and other podcasts on Allura just because it is a fantastic resource to use for Etsy sellers, and they have more stuff on the way, which I'm going to talk about really, really soon. But hopefully this helps you guys out as far as the fees go, and we can move on, put this behind us. Take a step back, focus on our business, and have a really, really good rest of 2022. But I'll be back really soon with you with another, always hopefully amazing episode. If you guys like this podcast and you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, please give me a 5-star review. It helps me reach more people and keeps me inspired to keep doing these episodes for you guys. I really appreciate it, but I'll be back really soon with you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day.